Coping with the effects of war is a personal journey. One veteran of Vietnam in East Tennessee found therapy in the saddle.
When horse and human move as one, the scene defies description. Best to just soak up the dance.
And how many head of cattle do you have?
Well, head-wise, we've probably got close to 400 to 500, somewhere in that range.
A bond with horses helped guide East Tennessee cowboy John Nicely at home, at war, and back again.
I got my first steed when I was 5 years old, and it was a donkey.
His family settled among these rolling hills along the Holston River just after the Civil War.
So I've always been a horse person. My father was too, and his father was too.
Age 73 now, Nicely recalls saddling his first real horse at age 9. Barely a decade later, drafted into the Army. At age 20, he was riding a steel horse into firefights in Vietnam.
I've told people many a time that the sound of those choppers coming was like hearing your mother's voice. It was music to your ears. Once you hear those choppers coming, you knew they were coming to get you out of there.
The wannabe veterinarian turned decorated medic spent his days in combat, saving lives.
Chuhoi means I surrender.
Surrender screams from enemy soldiers sent him braving the unknown, a selfless act in battle to pull wounded troops out of the jungle.
That's what I did. I'd go in there and bring them out. And at some point, you just kind of come to a peace with God and yourself, and you just know that everything's going to be okay. Somehow you're going to survive this, or if you don't, that's okay too.
How about your worst days?
Worst days would have been one of my best friends. I don't know if he killed himself or if he accidentally was cleaning his gun and killed himself, but that was a terrible day.
What was his name?
Rick.
Where was he from?
Michigan.
What was his last name?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I've looked for him on the wall. Sorry. But yeah, that was the worst day. The thing that I guess impressed me the most about the soldiers was their bravery. You can't imagine it. One of the preachers or whatever told us when we left there that it would take us 10 years to get over it, and it'll take 10 years off your life. So I don't know about taking the 10 years off my life, but I do know it took about 10 years to get over it, and the horse made that breakthrough for me.
After returning from Vietnam, he took a horse and a dog, then isolated himself for half a year on a far-off mountain, keeping watch over close to 100 head of cattle.
A lot of things kind of got figured out, but it was a special time up there. When you first came out, you didn't think there was anything wrong. You thought that other guy had PTSD and it hadn't affected you, but it did. The horse and the cattle were what I was dreaming about the whole time I was there. And then coming back and being able to be around them sure helped out.
And this healer of men would go on to develop an even deeper connection with horses.
Now, as she walks around me, I want her to see that ear that's just cupped right on me.
Subtle observation, a deliberate give and take. It defines the Nicely approach to earning trust in the training pen.
You see how he's kind of a little uncertain there? You just got to honor that. You've got to you don't want to just barge on in there unconscious. You want to honor the fact that he didn't know for sure why I was walking up like I did, and instead of reaching for him like a mountain lion might reach for him. See how his head went away? You come here to the shoulder maybe and rub him there. Maybe rub him down along the neck like his mother might have rubbed him. A lot of people think it's that strong man that can really control this horse. Well, the truth of the matter is, less is more.
John Nicely learned to train a horse from masters of that art and has gone on to share those proven techniques with hundreds of people.
Ray used to say that when you lost your temper, you let the human come out in you. And that's when you run out of knowledge, is when you do those things.
An East Tennessee cowboy turned combat medic, turned husband, father, and teacher. Summing him up seems to rest in his poetic description of saddling up on a trusted horse.
Riding a good horse is it's just kind of it makes you a different creature. You're part horse and you're part human, and the two of you together can do things that you can't do otherwise.
For more about John Nicely and the influence his military service had on the rest of his life, you can head right now to Service and Sacrifice at WBIR.com. It's a rare day you get to saddle up with your hero. I'm grateful for you, John Nicely.